Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. And if you're like me, finding a place to eat is never an easy thing to do. Whether you're in New York or DC or traveling, I always find myself wishing I had a trusted friend I could call to tell me where to have dinner or lunch or just where to eat. The infatuation is that friend. The infatuation helps you find the right restaurant for any situation. Need a place for a first date? Trying to find a spot for your birthday that you don't want to celebrate, except you kind of have to. I had that a couple of weeks ago, by the way. The infatuation has you covered in all these situations and many, many more. So if you need a place to eat, but don't want to read through thousands of unreliable crowdsourced reviews from imbeciles that you have no idea who they are, hit up the infatuation down hit up theinfatuation.com or download their free app for iOS or Android to search thousands of restaurant reviews and guides in 22 major cities around the world. Or let the infatuation do the work for you by sending a text to 64560. Again, that's text to 64560. A real person is going to respond to you and help you find a restaurant that's perfect for whatever situation you're in. Now, let's get going. This is the No BS Coaching Advice Podcast, episode 111. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I like to spend some time every week talking with you about life, the universe, and everything. And you may have noticed last week I released a show that was an interview that I did with someone. I'm going to do more of those over the course of the year. But fundamentally, this is a show where I try and help you look at life with a different perspective. And as often happens, things come together in a sort of synchronistic kind of way. And this show comes from a couple of things in sports that happened over the last few days, and a podcast interview I was listening to. And the theme of this overall is that dreams die when people give up. And so often people give up on their dreams prematurely. And it's so sad when that happens. It feels as though there's a death that's occurred, that someone has just conceded to the events. Like, I was listening to the founder of Bonobos doing a podcast interview, and he spoke about a time in his life where it was real close to him giving up on the idea. And all he kept doing, and this is my way of interpreting it, is just pay the bills. Keep moving forward, keep trying, because the dream will die when I give up. And he didn't want this dream to die. Don't let yours die. Keep moving forward. If you don't know the name Mike Tyson, I know you're not a boxing fan from a few years back. It's more than a decade, probably closer to 2 decades back. He was a ferocious fighter, incredibly intense, small in stature, but fierce in his conduct. Became known for biting part of the ear off of an opponent in the ring, Evander Holyfield. Now, he had a trainer who worked for him, named Customato, Cusd'Amato. And I ran into one quote of his and then found the second that I think is worth remembering. The first one is about self-sabotage, where he says, to see a man beaten not by a better opponent but by himself is a tragedy. Man, is that about giving up dreams or what? And then the second quote, the one that triggered all of this, was one where he said, the hero and the coward feel the same thing. Think about that one, folks. The hero and the coward feel the same thing. Folks, if you haven't already picked up on the fact, I like sports. I generally like what are referred to as professional teams, but generally I like sports, and on occasion I'll watch a college game, like I did watch Alabama and Clemson play for the national championship. but I stumbled into a college basketball game between Old Dominion and UTSA, the University of Texas at San Antonio. And with 3:44 left on the clock, Old Dominion is up by 17 points, and the announcer emphatically states that they have a 99.4% chance of winning. But they didn't win, because UTSA went on a 22-4 run and won the game by 1 point in regulation. Is this an example of not giving up? You bet it is. Is this an example of not letting a dream die? You bet it is. Because the fact of the matter is, it's only impossible until it's done. I don't know if it's true any longer, but Mickey Mantle had the most RBIs in the history of baseball and the most strikeouts. Michael Jordan, and there's a meme about this. I don't know if it's an actual quote, but let's assume that it's on the internet, so it's true. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeeded. Folks, you can quit and you can do just enough, but the reality is Mantle kept swinging and missing, and he also connected. Baseball players are considered great players when they fail 7 out of 10 times, and thus they hit 300. Folks, you got to keep swinging. You got to keep trying. You can't go back to being small, because otherwise your dreams die. So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to the show. Just subscribe so you get downloads whenever I release a new episode. Each show is going to be bite-sized morsels of advice just like today's. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope you subscribe. And if you do choose to subscribe, I hope you decide to support the show. There's a link that will take you to anchor.fm where you can make a pledge in support of the show. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in my coaching you, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to the show. I just happen to like knowing I'm helping some folks. And once we're connected, message me about your interest in coaching. We'll set up a free call. We'll get acquainted, see if it makes sense. I'll be back soon with more. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Take care. Time for